at Kenny Wallace. About an hour from now, we're going to have the drawing for the Budweiser Shootout.
And I can't wait. It is warm down here in Daytona. I don't know what it's like in the Midwest or North. I hear it's like 10 degrees. So everybody come on down. Racing's getting ready to start, and I can't wait.
And you actually have participated in this race and finished second.
Darn it.
Rusty.
I'm happy to have finished second at Rusty. I was in the Bud Shootout twice, finished second in 98. The next time I finished ninth.
All right, we'll be back with you, like you said, in just about an hour. Time now for more of the Busch Shootout Scrapbook.
The Budweiser Shootout.
Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser Shootout over Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace.
Some say it's merely an exhibition race.
Some drivers drive with their heart, some drivers drive with their head, some drivers drive with the mighty dollar. I can't believe how much money a man can make if he happened to lead all the laps and win the race. $80,000, that's as much as the 500 miles pays. I just think it's super.
But the list of past champions says this is serious business. Earnhardt, Wallace, Jarrett, and Gordon.
3 wide out and back for word counts for the big money. Jeff Gordon, his second win in the Busch Clash.
No points racing here, just a dash for cash.
$200,000 for that hour's worth of work.
Heart-pumping, non-stop action.
14 guys with one thing on their mind. Checkers or wreckers before this one's over.
Oh, trouble! Right in the wall, hard. Schrader in the wall, hard. Jarrett the winner, Gordon second, and Rudd on his route for the second time in the Busch Shootout.
An all-out sprint from start to finish. The end result, victory means momentum. With a great American race only 1 week away. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Red Rocks Cafe in Huntersville, North Carolina. I am Rick Allen, and welcome to Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook. Over the next hour, we're going to take you on a journey, if you will, back in time, reliving some of the great memories from Budweiser Shootouts past. What better place to pay tribute to the Budweiser Shootout than here at one of NASCAR's favorite watering holes? Now, what is the shootout, you ask? How did it get started, and who gets in? Well, here's Speed's Dave Despain to explain.
The inaugural Bud Shootout wasn't a shootout at all. It was a clash, the Busch Clash, held February 11th, 1979. CBS Sports was a week away from producing the first live flag-to-flag coverage of the Daytona 500, and it needed a dress rehearsal.
For the first time in history, we hope to be bringing you live pictures from inside a racing car actually in the event. Our selection of car is this machine, and there you see the Race Vision camera that sits beside a former Daytona 500 champion, none other than Benny Parsons. We'll be recording, showing you live pictures here on CBS today as he battles actually in the event. And from what we've seen before, I can tell you you're going to get a feeling for speed such as you've never seen.
NASCAR and Anheuser-Busch were gearing up for the Great American Race and wanted an event that would get Speed Weeks kicked off with a bang. Well, everybody got what they were looking for. Pole winners from the previous year were invited to participate, including the defending Winston Cup champion, Cale Yarborough, Daytona 500 champions, Bobby Allison, David Pearson, and Benny Parsons, Super Speedway master, Buddy Baker, and a mouthy youngster from Kentucky named Darrell Waltrip. The formula? Simple. A random draw to select your starting spot. No points. 20 laps. 50 grand to the winner. In the end, Baker took the victory over Waltrip, and the inaugural Busch Clash, now the Bud Shootout, was in the books. Little did the drivers know, they had just made history.
That's just a brief history on how it all started back in 1979. Since then, no matter who was in the race or who won it, every edition has been a classic. We'll be back for more of Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook right after this.
I can't can't believe how much money a man can make if he happened to lead all the laps and win the race. $80,000, that's as much as the 500 miles pays. I just think it's super. I wish more people would come along like Busch has and try to add that sort of excitement to our sport. For 20 laps and 50 miles, that's got to be unbelievable.
For more than a decade, the Busch Clash stayed the same. A fast, simple dash for cash. The drivers loved it, but it needed an oil change.
The cars are so spread out, and seems to be so many people are running so many different speeds that I don't know what I'm going to do. Just have to wait and see.
So 1991 brought a new spin on an old idea. Instead of one 20-lap race, there would be two 10-lap segments. For the second stanza, the field was inverted. That format lasted 7 years. Then, in 1998, came a complete overhaul.
This all-star prelude to Speed Week, leading to that race next Sunday, has a new format, and it also has a new name. It's the Bud Shootout.
Two segments again became one. An all-out sprint of 25 laps. Well, sort of. This is where it gets a little complicated. There would now be two races, a 25-lap qualifier followed by the main event. The winner of the qualifying race earned a spot at the back of the shootout, a race now worth $100,000.
Stays in line. Jimmy Spencer wins the Bud Shootout qualifier, followed by Lake Speed, Dale Earnhardt, Sterling Marlin.
Also added was a two-tire pit stop, allowing teams with quick pit crews to make up for a slower car.
Boys, the race is just getting ready to start. Hang on to your helmet.
In 2001, the race was expanded to 70 laps, 175 miles.
Tony Stewart, the Rushville, Indiana Rocket, leads him off the corner. Earnhardt may have one last chance. Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser Shootout over Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. That was a fun race.
And in 2003, the present format arrived. A perfect mix incorporating the best parts of past shootouts.
It's like if you want to win this race, you need to work with me.
The race was once again broken up into two segments. A 20-lapper followed by 50 laps, with a two-tire green flag pit stop required in a second segment.
Go, go, go! All right, buckle them up, tighten them up, take a deep breath, show me what you got. Junior's 2-4. He doesn't need to get way out there like that.
Second last year to Tony Stewart. Dale Earnhardt Jr. started last and will finish first in the Bud Shootout.
One segment or two, 20 laps or 70. The end result is still the same. The first real racing of each and every NASCAR season.
Changes, and more changes. One big change in this year's edition will be a handful of first-time shootout participants, including road racer Boris Said, who shocked the world by winning the Bud Pole at Daytona last July. When we come back to Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook, the man in black puts a new spin on the term six-pack.
Some 50,000 fans here waiting to see 15 drivers, each with a great reputation in the mad dash for the lion's share of $290,000 in prize money. Each waiting to see his car is the fastest, his moves the best.
Here's Earnhardt going for the lead in turn one. Can he get by Ernie Irvin? No, he has to fall back in line. Well, no, he's not falling back in line. That's not his style. He just goes to the front.
$25,000 at stake. Earnhardt stays up in front. Here comes Ernie Irvin right after it. Down to the line. Earnhardt winning the first segment, the first half. It's amazing how Earnhardt keeps running this like a quarter-mile track, finding those little holes and popping through.
He's a master at it.
Watch the black number 3 as he tries to find a hole. Here he is diving back to the inside another time. Coming to the line, the 1993 Busch Clash. Checkers come out with driver Dale Earnhardt.
Welcome back. The man in black, the Intimidator. While it took him 20 tries to win the Daytona 500, Dale Earnhardt owned the shootout. Let's take a look.
Dale Earnhardt entered his first Busch clash in 1980.
Let's see if Earnhardt is going to take a shot at Neil Bonnet. Drops down inside, pulls up, goes for the lead. Earnhardt is taking the lead.
And he won. In 1986, he held off the dominating Ford of Bill Elliott to capture his second victory in just 3 starts. He beat Davey Allison to the line in 88 to record his 3rd win in 5 races.
2 laps to go, there was Bobby behind Davey, and then I said, uh-oh, there's an Alabama game fixing to put the hurt on me. So it was just a situation then, just to get through 3 and 4 in a good line and not let them up under you and come on back to the line.
In 1991, Anheuser-Busch changed the format of the race, inverting the field for the final 10 laps. After winning the first leg, Earnhardt would have to start last, but he had no trouble getting to the front.
There's Earnhardt down on the inside, going 3 abreast into that turn.
3 wide to the corner, and you see Earnhardt clambering up through the field. As he tries to find a hole, here he is diving back to the inside another time. Here comes Earnhardt, storming down the inside, and he's bringing Sterling Marlin along with him.
After starting last, Earnhardt had the lead by lap 2 on his way to victory.
I just couldn't believe we were in front in 2 laps. But this wasn't too bad at all, you know, and I had a lot of doubts all week that we could do that. We've always enjoyed the Busch Clash, and they changed the format, and I was really worried about it, but I'm not too worried about it anymore.
By now, a theme was forming. Earnhardt, the man to beat at Daytona.
Comes Earnhardt, continuing to move up through.
Moving around Sterling Marlin. Wow, look at him go on the outside of Martin, making 3 abreast from the outside. You see it on the inside occasionally, but
wow. Coming to the line, the 1993 Busch Clash, and for the 5th time, checkers come out of the man in black. So it's Earnhardt picking up right where he ended in 1991 when he swept both ends of this thing. Look at those guys in the back of the field as all of a sudden Earnhardt begins to lead that pace through, and here they come.
4 abreast.
Unbelievable.
Wait a minute, guys. They're going to work.
And charging right up through Earnhardt into the lead.
Dale Earnhardt is just phenomenal for getting through traffic. That is in a lap and a half, and he's out front. That's phenomenal.
Earnhardt does it for the 6th time. Wins the Busch Clash.
No driver, past or present, has a better record in the Busch Clash than the man in black.
Did you know that Earnhardt was in a total of 12 shootouts and won half? Just a small part of his record 31 wins at the World Center of Racing. Stay tuned. There's more to come from Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook.
Check. 1 lap to go. Rusty's out in front of him. Gordon got off the gas. Green flag.
Rusty Wallace has some help on the outside.
That's Kenny Wallace, little brother. Rusty Wallace comes to the flag and wins the Busch Shootout.
Well, that's pretty disappointing that they let a restart like that get away, you know. I mean, Rusty jumped the start big time.
1 lap shootout, you know, it's each man for himself. That's all I can tell you.
Throughout the history of the Budweiser Shootout, there have been a number of drivers whose victory was a major career milestone. Who could have known it would take Rusty Wallace 18 years to finally win a race at Daytona? Denny Hamlin took care of business the first time he ever drove his Cup car onto the track.
Race car is on pit road after a 24-hour delay almost. The green flag is in the air, and we're underway in the Budweiser Shootout. At the bottom of the track, heading off into turn number 1. Good start for Ken Schrader.
But before the drivers walked out on the stage, he pulled his young teammate Denny Hamlin aside. He said, "This is your opening day to try to earn respect. Be patient. Don't make any zigzag, aggressive type moves."
How about Denny Hamlin, the 11 car? His first race in the Nextel Cup car at Daytona, the Budweiser Shootout, he's leading. You know, I think Tony Stewart is trying his best to help the 11 car.
I think
Denny Hamlin win the race.
I agree.
I think he is. I just don't think anybody can get close
Snuckis Jr. to help push him by. 12 car in the wall. He's got smoke coming off the right front.
Mark Martin underneath. That's Ryan Newman in the 12, falling back.
And Tony Stewart, the 20 car, has the lead.
Caution. Caution for debris. Field coming to the green. There will be 2 laps to go when they cross the line, and no passing until you get across the line.
Field, Denny Hamlin in the 11 cannot jump Tony Stewart coming down from the line.
And in these restrictor plate races, we have seen Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart work very closely together. Right now, Jr. behind Stewart. 2 to go.
He got a pretty good restart, Denny Hamlin in the 11 car, but boy, they are packing up right now.
Johnson pushes Hamlin in front, and Hamlin dives down low.
Good move, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I had good help. Jimmy gave me a great push down the back straightaway. I thank him, and Tony pushed me the entire other race.
Last lap in the Budweiser Shootout.
The 20 car is just beaten up on the bumper of that 11 car, Denny Hamlin, but that's why. That's what you can do.
Look what a difference it made, Wally. 2 car lengths drove him by the 48.
The season starts with fireworks. Denny Hamlin, the rookie, wins the Budweiser Shootout.
Tony Stewart was looking for his 3rd Bud Shootout trophy, but instead turned out to be the mentor behind his young teammates' victory.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I know he's got a fast enough car. He's just got to be patient all day. He did a great job, so it was awesome. I was hoping we'd get 1, 2, but we got close.
I can't believe it. It wasn't 2 years ago. I was here as a visitor of Dale Earnhardt Jr. He invited me to come 2 years ago and stay in his motorhome, and that's the only other time I've ever been to Victory Lane, but I figured I wouldn't have any help at all, and all I wanted to do was just gain respect from these guys for the 500, and hopefully we did that. I just can't believe it. Just thank everyone from FedEx. Had a rough year last year, but it's time for redemption. We're coming back this year, and we're going to win Rookie of the Year.
A rookie winning in his first try, and he held true to his promise of winning Rookie of the Year. Now that's impressive. Mark Martin, on the other hand, had to be a little more patient for his.
Mark Martin has raced here in Winston Cup, in the International Race of Champions, in Grand National, in the qualifying races, and in the shootout. He has never been to Victory Lane at Daytona in a stock car. Schrader to the inside. Mark Martin brings it down. Mark Martin with his first Daytona victory, winning the Busch Shootout.
That's good. That's great. Good job, buddy.
Best way I know of to start off speed weeks. A lot more horsepower and a lot nicer Taurus to drive than I had a year ago, I tell you that.
Here is Neil Bonnet on the inside, making the move. Terry Labonte will go high. They go 3 wide in turn 3. Labonte on the high side, drops back. He makes contact with the wall. He's out of shape. He hits Earnhardt as Neil Bonnet is taking the lead.
As they come out of the corner, here comes the winner down to the line, and it will be Neil Bonnet.
1 lap to go. White flag is out. This is it for $50,000. Here's Bonnet coming to the inside. 3 wide behind him. Bonnet going to the inside. Cale Yarborough comes through. Here they come to the line. Yarborough on the inside. Bonnet throws the block. Give it to Bonnet. 2 years in a row he wins the Clash.
The first driver to ever do something.
Welcome back to Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook here at Red Rocks Cafe in Huntersville, North Carolina. Neil Bonnet, one of the original members of the famed Alabama gang. Now, he's not the only back-to-back winner of the Budweiser Shootout, but he's in an exclusive club. The repeat has only happened 3 times in shootout history. Speed's Dave Despain takes a look at the other 2.
Oh, the guys, they did a super job. I can't say enough for the whole crew. Dennis Conner, crew chief, and Richard Broom, new team manager. Driver's pretty important down here. It means a lot. Those guys, we got 20 guys back there just live and breathe, working on that Folgers car. I got to give some thanks, too, to Dale Earnhardt, because he came by this morning and told me some do's and don'ts. I think he told some other people, too, though, but he helped us out a little bit there.
But Kenny knew if he wanted to start the 1990 season the same way he kicked off 89, knowing when to pass and when to hold off passes was going to be an issue.
It wasn't a question if I wanted to be leading. It was a lot of questions if I was going to be able to stay leading.
and I figured it'd be hard for him to pass us, just like it'd be hard for me to pass him. I was just mainly worried about making it back around. The car was real loose, moved around quite a bit, a lot more than I would have liked it to.
More than a decade passed before repeat winner number 3, Tony Stewart, has never had great luck at Daytona, but in 01 and 02, he held off both members of the greatest restrictor plate family in NASCAR history.
Here comes Earnhardt to the bottom on Tony Stewart. You can see the air. He can also smell the money. It's 2 laps away.
I think Tony Stewart thought better of leading on the last lap. I think he wanted to get Earnhardt shook out and see what he could do with it.
Look, found out
Stewart, no help. He goes by Earnhardt on the bottom side going into turn 3 and 4.
A Pontiac has never won this race. Stewart leads the bell lap in a Pontiac. Tony Stewart, the Rushville, Indiana Rocket, leads him off the corner. Earnhardt may have one last chance. Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser Shootout over Dale Earnhardt.
We just kept working, and I tried him one to go and got the lead. Maybe it's too soon.
You know, when you got Dale Earnhardt behind you, he's going to pull every trick out he can to win here, and he's won so much here that you got to pay attention to what he's doing. And you know, I tell you what, I can't thank Dale Earnhardt Jr. enough. I mean, him and I worked together all day long, and whether he was leading, I was behind him, or vice versa, we really worked well to get today, and that's something I'm going to be looking forward to next Sunday. Him and I working together again, because we really ran well. We ran up front all day, and we were able to really get some runs on some guys. So, you know, I don't know if his old man's going to be very happy with him, but him and I had a good day nonetheless.
And look at Tony Stewart right under Schrader. Who's Junior going with?
No question.
By himself, probably. That's why Tony, I think, moved down, number 1, to get away from Schrader, but number 2, to try to block a move by Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. I'm not too sure with these rules that Sterling and Schrader and Jeff Gordon can do anything with these front 2 cars.
Gordon for third as they come to the white flag.
Gordon's got the momentum up top, following on the bottom, the 41.
Last lap of the Budweiser Shootout.
Gordon's going to the outside with Schrader.
Gordon getting the push. Moves to second. Junior digging back down low. Stewart's loving this in his rearview mirror.
There it is. Come on, baby. Come on.
While they fight for second, that could be the gap Tony Stewart needs to win the race. Here they come. Final sprint to the checkered flag. Stewart's going to do it 2 years in a row. Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser Shootout. 31 of 70 laps led by Tony Stewart. He holds them all off in the final miles to score his second straight win in the Budweiser Shootout, $200,000.
Stewart was on his way to winning 2 Nextel Cup titles, but first, he was a 2-time Bud Shootout winner, and the champ was quick to point out the similarities in the 2 men he had to beat.
He may be Dale Earnhardt Jr., but he's got the talent of Dale Earnhardt Sr. He's tough, and the same things his father tried to pull on the last couple of laps, you know, he did this year. So it's just a matter of just trying to counteract every one of his moves with a counter move that was going to be productive. So you had to watch your mirrors a lot and had to do a lot with both feet.
Smoke sure lit him up in 2001 and 2002. His teammate Denny Hamlin will try to become the 4th back-to-back winner this year. Up next, Ricky Rudd turns the Busch clash into the Busch crash when Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook returns. Welcome back, everyone. Ricky Rudd has long been considered one of the toughest drivers in the NASCAR garage. Despite aches, pains, and broken bones, Rudd holds NASCAR's Ironman record with 788 consecutive starts from 1981 through 2005. However, that record was far from anybody's mind on a cold, cloudy February day in 1984. For the story, here's Steve Burns.
Driving Bud Moore's number 15 Ford, Ricky Rudd was up front in the 1984 running of the Busch Clash. But suddenly, out of turn 4, disaster.
Ricky Rudd slamming toward the wall, crashing, rolling over, side over side.
These
coming off turn 4, and Jody really touched him a little bit, and the car got airborne. He'd done all them flips and all this kind of stuff.
So I was going backwards, and I just remember everything got really calm and really quiet, and the car went airborne. And I remember being, not just airborne a little bit, but I remember being way up in the air. And at that time, I thought that was probably not a bad way to go. I'd rather take my consequences by taking a flip and being up in the air than I would be to bank off that wall that I was going to hit so hard that I seen Darrell hit in July 4th prior to that. So it wasn't totally bad at that time, but I remember just hearing my expression, all the air rushed out of my body when I hit, and just like it knocked the wind out of me. And that's pretty much the end of it. The next thing I remember is people were coming to me trying to wake me up.
To say Rudd emerged unscathed would be far from the truth. Just a week away from the Daytona 500, Ricky Rudd lay in a Daytona Beach hospital room with badly bruised ribs and his eyes swollen shut. He was down, but not quite out.
My wife Linda was there when I arrived at the hospital. She was there at the racetrack, and that night I said, "I'm getting out of bed. I've got to go back to the racetrack. There's no way I can lay in this hospital bed tonight." She said, "Well, if you're that hard-headed, you need to stay here. But if you're that hard-headed, I'll help you get up, and we'll walk to the mirror, and then you tell me if you're going to spend the night." So we walked over to the mirror, and I didn't recognize the face that was looking back in the mirror, and I remember telling her, "Well, maybe I'll spend tonight anyway," and just not take any chances because it looked pretty beat up.
He come around, he run a couple of laps, come back, and he says, "I can't see good." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well," says, "the vibration and all." He said, "I can't see." So I went and got me some cellophane tape, and I taped his eyelids open where they were swollen so bad, and taped his eyes open. He went out and run. He said, "That does the trick."
I've gotten with some sports trainers, and I've got like a football flak jacket type of deal on. It's just basically a fiberglass with some padding inside of it to protect my rib protection in case I bang any more walls. It also helps hold me together a little bit better to keep the muscles inside from hurting so bad.
You've not seen the videotape of what happened Sunday. I understand you don't care to.
No, I don't really care to. Maybe in a couple of years I'll look at it. I understand it's quite spectacular, and I really am fortunate, and I realize that I'm very lucky. But right now I've got 500 miles of racing in front of me, and I don't care about seeing it since I really don't remember it as it is right now.
Rudd finished 7th in the Daytona 500. Just 2 weeks later, and still hurting, he took the win at his home racetrack in Richmond, Virginia.
The checkers are about to fall, and it is an upset. Ricky Rudd has won.
Got through the race, and as the race got halfway through, I started, I've got a chance to win this thing, and just blocked out the pain best I could, and we went on and won the race today. But the neat thing is answering my own question. Would I be able to continue and answer that question with a win? It was just really neat timing.
Well, after sitting out the 2006 season, Ricky Rudd is back behind the wheel of a Robert Yates Ford, still looking for his first Daytona 500 win after 30 years of trying. This time he'll want to keep all 4 wheels on the ground. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook. Despite format changes over the 28-year history of the Budweiser Shootout, it always comes down to a final dash for cash, either wreckers or checkers. A chance for the stars of Sunday afternoon to fall back on their short track Saturday night roots. And since Dale Earnhardt's last lap pass for the win in 1980, the Shootout has had a knack for coming right down to the wire. Here's Dave Despain.
Jeff Gordon looked like a shoo-in for the win in '98 until a last lap restart.
Rusty's out in front of him. Gordon got off the gas. Green flag.
Jimmy Spencer down low. Rusty Wallace up high. Wallace has drafting help. Spencer has none at all. Rusty Wallace takes the lead on the backstretch. Drafting help goes Brother Jennings. Now Bill Elliott goes by as Wallace leads to 3.
Rusty Wallace took his lone Daytona win thanks to Gordon's missed shift and a push from his younger brother Kenny.
I don't think I'm real bad at those restarts. I got busted a couple times, like in Martinsville, getting a little hungry there. But this one here, you got to get hungry at it. You got to get after it. And I took off, and like I said, when I took off, when he put the brakes on, I said, "Oh no, we're not playing this game. You're not going to brake check me, then make me stop with you." So I did. I hesitated on the throttle, but hey, I won, man. I'm here. I'm at Daytona.
Jeff, he just wasn't going. I was already in second gear, and he was still stopped. And so Spencer was really good on the restarts, and he beat Rusty down into 1, and I was just still trying to catch him at that point. And about middle way through 1 and 2, I caught him, and I pushed Rusty as hard as I could, just kind of lifted his rear end up, kept pushing, and then Bill was behind me, pushing me, and it was a good finish, 1, 2, 3.
In the 2000 Bud Shootout, former Daytona 500 winners Sterling Marlin and Jeff Gordon appeared ready to settle it between them. But another former 500 winner had other thoughts.
Now, the white flag's in the wind. There's just 1 lap to go.
Bobby Labonte has caught him. He came from way back in the last 2 laps. He gets up on Dale Jarrett's back bumper.
Our Circuit City onboard camera rides with Bobby Labonte as he closes up on Dale Jarrett. Now there's Schrader, the yellow car to the inside.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, this back straightaway, as they go down the back straightaway, they're heading that way. Here comes Gordon on the inside.
Jeff Gordon in the slipstream of Sterling Marlin, and up the outside comes Dale Jarrett.
Oh, they touched on the back straightaway. Marlin in the middle there, and here comes the 88 car, Dale Jarrett.
And the 28 of Ricky Rudd comes low, trying to sniff a draft off of Gordon. Jarrett to the outside. All that skirmishing left a clear path for Jarrett on the outside.
Oh, trouble!
Rudd in the wall, hard. Schrader in the wall, hard. Jarrett the winner.
We got side by side, and then Gordon made his move, and the best thing that happened was the 18 car came and gave me a push, and hadn't it been for that, for Bobby Labonte catching us and giving me that push, and then 24 got underneath the 40, and that kind of slowed them down a second. I said, hey, they're going to give me a chance here, and as we went down the backstretch, I got a lot of momentum going into 3, and great race car, and I had a really good angle and was able to get down in front of Gordon.
In 2004, Jarrett again came to the white flag in a heated battle for the lead, this time with Kevin Harvick. But it was another DJ pushing him to the front.
It's DJ with the momentum. Dale Jarrett goes to the lead, and he's got Dale Earnhardt Jr. right behind him now.
Jarrett's shootout win was the only bright spot in a year in which the 88 car fell far short of expectations.
I got to thank my buddy Dale Jr. He probably had the fastest car, but he was knocking the devil out of the back bumper, and that's what I needed to get the push by him. And I knew that was my one chance, was to keep him behind me and try to go by the guys on the outside.
DJ knows that it's the last lap that counts, which is how you become a 3-time winner of both the Budweiser Shootout and the Great American Race. Up next, a look at the men who have won both events in 1 week's time. Stay tuned.
Neil Bonnet goes down low. Right behind him is Darrell Waltrip. Bonnet has an advantage coming off the turn. A 3-car freight train with Bonnet.
Turn 4 down to the line. They come 2 abreast. Right now, Neil Bonnet trying to get the lead. Coming down to the bottom of the racetrack is Waltrip. He almost gets out of shape, and Bobby Allison will win it.
Down the checkered flag about to come out, and sprinting to it is number 88. Bobby Allison has won the Daytona 500 for the 2nd time in his career.
Welcome back to Speed's Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook. Not too shabby of a week for Bobby Allison. A win in both the shootout and the granddaddy of them all, the Daytona 500. Only a select few NASCAR legends have had a week like that.
The year was 1987. The driver, Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
It's still Bill Elliott at the front. Bodine goes to the low side of the racetrack. Bodine right down low. He's closing. He's to within about 5 car lengths of Elliott. Waltrip running third.
Bodine tried it, but he couldn't do it. He took a shot at him, but he came up with blanks as they head down to the line. Elliott is going to win the Busch Clash.
Elliott took the checkers and rolled into victory lane, wondering if the win was a sign of things to come.
Well, I'm building some good momentum. I just hope it don't stop now.
The pride of Georgia, Bill Elliott, straining car number 9 to bring it home and give Ford and give the folks from Georgia something to cheer about. He comes across the line to win it by about 10 car lengths. Bill Elliott, 2-time winner of the Great American Race.
Jumping ahead to 1997, then 25-year-old Jeff Gordon would give the double a shot with an interesting strategy.
If I can't win the first segment, then I think that I'm going to try to be somewhere mid-pack so that it's a little bit easier to try to get to the front for the second segment.
Well, I never would have believed it, but it looks to me like Earnhardt and Gordon are positioning themselves for the second 10 lap.
Gordon's strategy paid off with a Deuces Wild. He started second in the second segment, took the lead from Bobby Labonte on the second lap, and never looked back.
3 wide out and back for where it counts for the big money to Jeff Gordon, his second win in the Busch Clash.
The following weekend in the 500, Gordon was at it again, this time taking the lead with just 6 laps to go.
Whoa, look down on the flat here. Gordon's trying to get by Elliott going into turn 1.
And Elliott gives him room.
A last lap caution ensured Gordon would take the checkers and the Daytona double dip. But even legends like Gordon and Elliott can't touch the Daytona resume of Dale Jarrett.
Here they come, down for the finish on the 18th annual Busch Clash to the stripe. Dale Jarrett's done it.
Jarrett broke in his new Yates Racing ride with a Busch Shootout win, but he wasn't done yet.
Coming off the turn, here it is, the Dale and Dale show once again here at Daytona. Earnhardt trying to make move. Look at him switch back and forth. Jarrett blocks him one more time. And the Chevrolets race each other back there. Jarrett hanging on down on the inside. Come on, Dale. Put her in the battle, buddy. Do all you can. Winning 2 Daytona 500s would be too much. Here he comes to the line, and Dale Jarrett is going to pull it off at Daytona, his second Daytona 500 win.
DJ started his career in the number 88 Ford with 2 wins in his first 2 starts. The perfect beginning for what would become a legendary pairing. In 2000, they were at it again in the shootout.
There is the fastest Ford in Florida.
With shootout win number 2 in the books, it was time to shoot for a second Daytona double.
Trouble, car in the wall. Turn 4, one car comes sliding down the track. In the wall is Spencer, Jimmy Spencer. Caution is out. Did the leaders get the caution?
Yes, they did. They did get the caution.
And here they come. Jarrett gets the white and the yellow flag, and Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 for the 3rd time.
Jarrett and the number 88 Ford won 28 races together, but it was their time at Daytona that made them timeless.
Only 4 drivers have scored a Daytona double dip, and DJ did it twice. When he won his first Daytona 500 in 1993, he hadn't even qualified for the shootout after failing to win a pole position the previous year. There's more to come when we return.
As everybody knows, it's all luck how you start, how you draw. So I know one thing, when you get to Daytona, you sure want luck on your side, and I got it today, so hopefully it stays with me throughout the week.
From frogs to lotto balls to pop guns to lizards, determining the starting lineup for the Budweiser Shootout is never boring. Here's a look at the most creative, the most memorable, and the just plain weird.
Over the years talk about racing luck, and luck will be what determines their starting position here today. Those of you familiar with the Florida Lottery will recognize this machine to my left and your right, and inside that machine are 15 ping pong balls with the numbers 1 through 15 on them. 15.
Well, I didn't improve my average starting position any, did I?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our pole sitter.
You have to watch it down there and then wait till it comes around and it comes up.
We need to take him to Tallahassee on a Saturday night as long as I get a piece of it.
The folks at Busch Beer have some presents for the drivers over here on the side. The number's in the envelope, and there are a few envelopes there. Number 1. And he
This is what I'm excited
All right, Mark, fire away there. Wow. Wow. Come on around here, Mark.
There's a trick.
There's a trick, he says. Everybody wants to know what that trick is. Congratulations.
Man, I've been in this race about 10 years, and I'm sure the best I've ever started is third from the back.
It's no secret that our next driver is a big fan of Bud, the Bud Shootout, that is. Here's Ken Schrader. All right, Kenny, what's your lucky lizard have to reveal? It's got a 1 in it, but it's 10. Thank you. Welcome back to the Bud Shootout.
Always look forward to running Bud Shootout. You know, get something different every year to store the Budweiser in, and another year's supply.
Number 1. Now, that's not the excited look of the guy that just picked the pole for the Bud Shootout. What's with the smirk here?
You know where 1 potentially puts you going into 3?
That's the one, huh? That's the one! Yes, sir.
There's some perks when you really believe in the product.
How will they choose the starting positions for this year's Budweiser Shootout? Find out up next on our selection special. From the inaugural Busch class in 1979 to this, the 29th edition of what has become the Budweiser Shootout. You always have to watch because you never know when the next page in the Budweiser Shootout Scrapbook will be written. I'm Rick Allen. Thanks for watching.
Hold on, would it be bad if I dribbled down my shirt right now? Jazz hands? Lizards.
Craig, you're not rolling on any of that stuff, are you? Hate to see that on YouTube.